American icon, Hollywood legend, and alleged ladies' man Duke Wayne. For decades, whispers swirled around John Wayne's personal life. Did the rugged on-screen hero have a hidden side? Now, years after his passing, a bombshell revelation from his wife threatens to rewrite his legacy. Buckle up, because we're about to untangle the truth behind the rumors and see if the Duke's off-screen life mirrored his larger-than-life persona. Early life and humble beginnings. 224 South 2nd Street in Winterset, Iowa was the location where Wayne was born on May 26, 1907. His birth name was Marion Robert Morrison. On page 4 of the edition that was published on May 30, 1907, the Winterset Madisonian, the local newspaper, claimed that Wayne weighed approximately 6 kilograms, 13 pounds, when he was born. According to Wayne, his middle name was changed from Robert to Michael shortly after his parents made the decision to name their next son Robert. However, careful research has revealed that there was no such official change. However, it is possible that the name was changed informally or that the documentation was lost. Despite the fact that his initial name is generally always referred to as Marion Michael Morrison, it appears that Wayne's legal name has remained Marion Robert Morrison throughout his whole life. After relocating to Palmdale, California, Wayne's family eventually settled in Glendale, California, at 404 Isabel Street, where his father, who was employed as a chemist, was employed. He went to Glendale Union High School, where he excelled in both academics and athletics. He graduated with honors every year. During his time at his high school, Wayne participated in both the football team and the debate team. In addition to that, he served as the president of the Latin Society and made valuable contributions to the sports column of the school newspaper. He was referred to as Little Duke by a local firefighter who worked at the station on his way to school in Glendale. This was due to the fact that he never left the house without his enormous Airedale Terrier Duke. His preference for the moniker Duke over Marion resulted in the nickname being adopted. Wilson Middle School, located in Glendale, was Wayne's second school. When he was a teenager, he worked for a man who shod horses for Hollywood studios in an ice cream shop under his supervision. Moreover, he was an active member of the Order of Demolay throughout his life. In 1924, he was a member of the Glendale High School football team that won the league championship. The United States Naval Academy did not approve Wayne's application because of his poor academic performance. Instead, he pursued a degree in pre-law at the University of Southern California, USC, where he eventually graduated. Both the Trojan Knights and Sigma Chi fraternities counted him as a member at one point. At the same time, Wayne was a member of the USC football team, which was coached by Howard Jones. He was unable to continue his athletic career because of a fractured collarbone injury. Wayne subsequently stated that he was too afraid of Jones's reaction to tell the actual source of his injury, which was an accident that occurred when he was body surfing. Due to the fact that he was unable to raise the necessary finances, he was forced to withdraw from the institution. His journey to Hollywood. Wayne was employed as a prop kid and extra by director John Ford and silent Western film star Tom Mix as a favor to Coach Jones, who had provided Mix with tickets to USC games. In retrospect, Wayne said that his friendship with Wyatt Earp, who was close friends with Tom Mix, was the inspiration for his manner, speech, and personality. Shortly after, Wayne began appearing in supporting roles, and he became good friends with John Ford, the director who cast him in most of these parts. During this time, he appeared in the 1926 picture Bartolus the Magnificent in an unrecognized guard role. Along with his USC football friends, Wayne appeared in Salute, The Dropkick, Brown of Harvard, and Columbia's Maker of Men. Although he was a little player for Fox Film Corporation, Wayne's lone on-screen credit was as Duke Morrison in Words and Music. His first leading role was in The Big Trail, which he landed after director Raoul Walsh noticed him in his prop boy role rearranging studio equipment. Following in the footsteps of Revolutionary War General Mad Anthony Wayne, Walsh proposed the moniker Anthony Wayne for his stage persona. Winfield Sheehan, head of Fox Studios, said it sounded too Italian and rejected it. John Wayne was the next suggestion from Walsh. With Sheehan's approval, the name was finalized. To top it all off, Wayne skipped the whole meeting. He now earns $105 per week. Produced at an eye-popping cost of more than $2 million, equivalent to more than $32.8 million in 2021, The Big Trail was supposed to be the first big-budget outdoor spectacular of the sound age. It featured hundreds of extras and expansive views of the sparsely populated American Southwest. Two versions were shot, one using the traditional 35mm method and the other using the cutting-edge 70mm grandeur film process and lenses to fully use the stunning landscape. Although many in the grandeur audience rose to their feet in applause, the film's widescreen presentation was widely unappreciated because just a small number of theaters had the necessary equipment. Despite its widespread dismal reception at its initial release, the picture has since garnered rave reviews from reviewers. His rise to stardom. Wayne was cast in minor parts in A-movies like Columbia's The Deceiver, where he played a dead body, following the financial catastrophe of The Big Trail. He made an appearance in the French Foreign Legion serial The Three Musketeers, which was based on the Alexandre Dumas book and took place in North Africa during that era. Many low-budget Poverty Row westerns, starring himself and featuring his name over the title, were produced by Monogram Pictures and Mascot Pictures Corporation. Around 80 of these horse operas aired between 1930 and 1939, according to Wayne's own estimation. Although he did it through dubbing, he became one of the first film cowboys to sing in Riders of Destiny. Westerns starring Wayne included The Three Musketeers, a title that riffed on the Dumas novel. Stuntmen taught him how to ride and other Western techniques. Along with Wayne, stuntman Yakima Canutt created and refined methods of on-screen fighting that are still used today. Allowing the good men to fight just as convincingly as the bad guys, by not necessarily making them fight clean, is one of the key advances attributed to Wayne in these early Poverty Row westerns. It was common practice before I came along that the hero must always fight clean, Wayne asserted. A paraffin lamp, a chair, or a kick to the stomach were all fair game for the heavy, but the hero could only gently knock him down and wait for him to get up. I altered everything, tossed chairs and light bulbs. My battles were fierce and unclean. With John Ford's Stagecoach, Wayne landed his second major role, and he battled to the finish. Ford had trouble securing funding for the A-budget picture due to Wayne's reputation as a B-movie and his history of low-budget westerns in the 1930s. Independent producer Walter Wanger and Ford reached an agreement after all the major studios passed on the project. The contract gave top billing to Claire Trevor, who was a considerably bigger star at the time. After Stagecoach became a critical and commercial smash, Wayne shot to stardom. Actress Louise Platt said that Ford had predicted Wayne's meteoric rise to fame on the strength of his portrayal as the stereotypical everyman back in the day. Hollywood was only one of several social groups that rallied to the war effort after the United States' entry into World War II. Because of his age and familial standing, Wayne was not required to serve. John Ford received multiple letters from Wayne expressing his desire to enroll, with one letter even asking if he could join Ford's military regiment. Since Wayne was their sole contracted A-list actor, Republic Studios was fiercely opposed to losing him, even though he made no effort to stop his reclassification as 1A, draft eligible. The president of Republic, Herbert J. Yates, threatened Wayne with legal action if he terminated the contract, and Republic Pictures stepped in to ask for Wayne's additional deferral from the Selective Service. Wayne did apply to serve in the Office of Strategic Services, the predecessor to the contemporary CIA, according to archives from the U.S. National Archives, but his petition was eventually rejected. Over the course of 3 months in 1943 and 1944, Wayne accompanied the USO on a tour of American outposts and hospitals in the South Pacific. William J. Donovan, chief of the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, asked him to investigate if General Douglas MacArthur or his staff were obstructing OSS operations during this trip. In recognition of Wayne's service to the OSS cause, Donovan presented him with a certificate of service at a later date. Many say that the thing that hurt him the most in the end was his decision not to serve in the military. He would become a super patriot for the rest of his life, trying to atone for staying home. His wife wrote decades after his death, implying that his patriotism in subsequent decades stemmed from guilt. Personal life, marriages, and divorce. Wayne has been through 2 divorces and 3 marriages. Josephine Alicia Sanz was his Spanish-American wife, and Esperanza Bauer and Pilar Palete were his Latin American wives. Following his marriage to Josephine, he had 4 children: Michael, Patrick, Mary Antonia Tony Wayne LaCava, and Melinda Wayne Munoz. Aisa, John Ethan, and Marissa Wayne were his other children from his marriage to Pilar. A number of Wayne's offspring became actors or actresses. Son Ethan has roles in a couple of films under the name John Ethan Wayne and was a mainstay in the Adam 12 reboot that aired in the 90s. When asked to verify the legitimacy of artifacts allegedly linked to his father's profession, Ethan has also made an appearance on Pawn Stars, a show airing on the History Channel. Jennifer Wayne is a country music group member. She is Isa's granddaughter. With Pilar's encouragement, Wayne established the John Wayne Tennis Club in Newport Beach, California, in 1973. Pilar was a passionate tennis player. After selling to former general manager Ken Stewart in 1995, the club changed its name to Palisades Tennis Club. The allegation that Wayne is 6 feet 4.5, 194 centimeters, tall is supported by Pilar's book John Wayne, My Life with the Duke, which Wayne makes while speaking to Michaeline Oge Flynn, Barry Fitzgerald, in The Quiet Man. The breakup of his marriage to Mexican actress Esperanza Bauer was contentious. Although both Wayne and co-star Gail Russell denied the accusation, she was convinced that the two were involved in an affair. Wayne arrived home late from the customary cast and crew celebration the night Angel and the Bad Man wrapped. By the time he got there, Esperanza had been drinking herself to a rage and tried to open fire on him as he entered the house. The affair that Wayne had with Merle Oberon, which he had from 1938 to 1947, was one of several high-profile affairs that Wayne had. Following his 1973 divorce from Pilar, Wayne had an affair with Pat Stacey, his former secretary, and the two lived together until Stacey passed away in 1979. In 1983, Stacey wrote a book called Duke, a love story that chronicled their lives together. Wayne started to wear a hairpiece at the end of the 1940s when his hair started to thin. At funerals, like the one for Gary Cooper, according to Life, he would sometimes be seen without the hairpiece. "Is it true that your toupee is real hair?" a student asked Wayne during his engagement at Harvard University. "Well, sir, that's actual hair," he said in response. "Not my hair, but actual hair." Congressman Alfonso E. Bell Jr. of California, who was close to Wayne, said of him, "Duke's personality and sense of humor were very close to what the general public saw on the big screen." Perhaps the most fitting words to describe him are, "Each of us is a mixture of some good and some not-so-good qualities." He had them inscribed on a plaque. Remembering the wonderful things about other people is essential while thinking about them. We shouldn't pass judgment simply because someone is a scumbag. Before his 1964 lung cancer diagnosis, Wayne had been a heavy cigarette smoker since he was a young adult. He successfully had 2 ribs and his entire left lung removed during surgery. Despite his business associates' attempts to keep him quiet about his sickness, Wayne went public with his diagnosis of cancer and urged people to undergo screenings to avoid the disease. The prognosis for Wayne's cancer was free 5 years later. Some say that Wayne came up with the moniker "the Big C" to describe cancer. Michael Munn, Wayne's biographer, detailed Wayne's usage of alcohol. Because Wayne was a mean drunk by midday, studio directors knew to shoot his parts before noon, according to Cut to the Chase, Sam Osteen's memoir. Someone said, "Tequila makes your head hurt," and Roger Ebert cites him. "No, it's not from your coma. From tumbling down and striking your head." His struggles with smoking and cancer. Although John Wayne portrayed a tough person on screen, he too had health problems. The diagnosis of lung cancer that struck Wayne in 1964 was a devastating blow to the man's reputation for toughness. But it was a wake-up call all the same. After undergoing surgery, Wayne lost his left lung and 2 ribs. His co-workers were worried that word of his illness would be detrimental to his career. But Wayne handled the situation in a completely different way. He encouraged everyone to get checked up frequently after going public with his cancer diagnosis. Wayne was confirmed cancer-free 5 years later, thanks to his courageous move. A legend has it that Wayne may have invented the moniker "the Big C" to make cancer sound less terrifying. In terms of routines, John Wayne had his flaws. His passion for cigarettes, which he began at an early age and which probably played a role in his cancer crisis, has been detailed in biographies. Some sources even claim that Wayne drank a good amount of whiskey because, well, let's just say Wayne wasn't exactly a picture-perfect afternoon companion. Several of his directors even devised a plan to film all of his scenes before noon. "Tequila makes your head hurt," goes a jocular remark supposedly ascribed to Wayne regarding tequila. No, it's not from your coma, from tumbling down and striking your head. I get the impression that Wayne might have been a little bit wild. 2 separate bouts with cancer were fought by John Wayne. Wayne was hit with yet another painful diagnosis in 1979, following his victory over lung cancer, stomach cancer. To maintain his health, he attempted an experimental cancer vaccination treatment, but it was unsuccessful. At the age of 72, John Wayne died at UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles on June 11, 1979. Put another way, John Wayne was a member of the Freemasons. Fraternal organization. Freemasonry has been around for a long time and is rather large. As a prominent member, Wayne went so far as to become a Shriner, a charitable subset of Freemasonry. Even away from the Hollywood spotlight, Wayne enjoyed an adventure. He became a frequent visitor to Panama in the early 1960s, going so far as to purchase the island of Tobago for himself. His unfortunate estate sold the island after his death. Among Wayne's many interests was his boat, the Wild Goose. His yacht was moored in Newport Beach Harbor, and he loved spending time there. Because of how much Wayne and others liked the Wild Goose, it was added to a special list of U.S. historic sites in 2011. John Wayne's life was full of fascinating events that extended far beyond his career in film, including his struggles with health, his passion for sailing, and his membership in Freemasonry. His death. Wayne passed away from stomach cancer at the age of 72 on June 11, 1979, at the UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles, despite enrolling in a cancer vaccine project to fight off the disease. Corona del Mar, Newport Beach's Pacific View Memorial Park Cemetery, is where he was laid to rest. Wayne converted to Roman Catholicism just before he passed away, according to his grandson Matthew Munoz, a priest in the California Diocese of Orange, and his son Patrick. A Spanish epitaph that Wayne characterized as ugly, strong, and dignified, feo, fuerte y formal, was what he wanted inscribed on his headstone. An inscription reading, "Tomorrow is the most important thing in life," has been placed on his previously unmarked tomb since 1999. Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. Comes into us at midnight very clean. It's perfect when it arrives and it puts itself in our hands. It hopes we've learned something from yesterday. Awards and nominations. Wayne went above and beyond the usual renown of a famous actor to become a timeless emblem of and voice for American principles and aspirations. By harnessing the mediums of silent film and radio, Wayne played a pivotal role in uniting the United States under a shared culture and enabling the birth of a national hero. The United States government formally acknowledged Wayne's enduring stature as an iconic American by bestowing upon him the 2 highest civilian medals. Wayne received the Congressional Gold Medal on May 26, 1979, which was his 72nd birthday. Various American celebrities and political figures spoke out in favor of the honor before Congress. Among them were Frank Sinatra, Maureen O'Hara, Elizabeth Taylor, General and Mrs. Omar Bradley, Gregory Peck, Robert Stack, James Arness, and Kirk Douglas. On June 9, 1980, President Jimmy Carter bestowed the Presidential Medal of Freedom upon Wayne after his death. As he put it, he was there, as a member of the loyal opposition at Carter's inauguration ball in 1977. The United States Navy Memorial Foundation honored him with the Naval Heritage Award in 1998 for his advocacy of the Navy and the military via his cinematic career. As one of the greatest male screen legends of vintage Hollywood cinema, Wayne was ranked 13th by the American Film Institute in 1999. What part of John Wayne's story inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and turn on post notification to be the first to know when the next video is up.